Hi, listen, don't scroll. If you're working harder than ever but still falling behind, this video is for you. Your parents could afford a home on one salary. Today, even two incomes feel tight. This isn't about laziness or bad choices. It's about a system that quietly changed. The middle class is disappearing. Not overnight, not by accident. And once you understand why, you'll never see money the same way again. Let's go back in time, not too far, maybe 30 or 40 years ago. One average person could work a normal job, buy a house, raise a family, take a vacation once a year, and still save money. No side hustles, no crypto, no grinding until midnight. Just one income. That lifestyle was called middle class, and it was the backbone of the economy. Fast forward to today. People are more educated than ever. Technology has made work faster. Productivity has exploded, yet somehow life feels harder. Two incomes are not enough. Rent eats half your salary. Buying a home feels like a fantasy, and saving money feels like a joke. The question is, where did the middle class go? Most people think inflation is the problem. Some blame immigrants. Some blame millennials. Some blame coffee, phones, or Netflix. But those are distractions. The real story is deeper, quieter, and uncomfortable. The first crack in the middle class started when wages stopped growing, but prices didn't. For decades, worker productivity kept rising. People produced more value per hour than ever before. Logically, wages should have gone up with productivity, but they didn't. Instead, profits went somewhere else: corporate executives, shareholders, and financial markets. Imagine this like a pizza. Years ago, workers and companies shared the pizza more evenly. Today, the pizza is bigger than ever, but workers are getting thinner slices while a few people eat almost the entire thing. Now, let's talk about housing, because this is where everything breaks. Homes were once places to live. Today, they are investment assets. Big investors, hedge funds, and corporations buy thousands of houses, not to live in them, but to rent them back to you. When housing becomes an investment instead of human need, prices explode. Wages can't keep up. The middle class gets crushed. Next comes debt. Debt is sold as freedom. Credit cards, student loans, car loans, everything is buy now, pay later. But debt quietly steals your future income. Every month, a part of your salary is already promised to banks before you even receive it. That means less saving, less investing, and more stress. Student loans deserve special attention. Education was once the ladder to the middle class. Now it's often a trap. Young people start adult life already thousands of dollars behind. They delay marriage, children, home ownership. Not because they want to, but because they have no choice. Then there's inflation, the invisible tax. When governments print money, prices rise, but wages lag behind. Inflation doesn't hit everyone equally. Rich people own assets that rise with inflation. Middle-class people hold cash in salaries that lose value. Every year, you don't get a raise higher than inflation. You are quietly getting poorer. Now, here's the part nobody likes to hear. The system is not broken. It is working exactly as designed. Modern economies reward asset owners, not workers. If you own stocks, real estate, or businesses, the system pushes you up. If you only sell your time for money, the system slowly pulls you down. This is why the middle class is shrinking and splitting into two groups. One group moves upward by owning assets. The other slides downward, surviving paycheck to paycheck. The space in the middle, the stable, comfortable life, is disappearing. Social media makes this worse. You see people flexing cars, trips, luxury lives. But much of it is financed by debt. Comparison creates pressure. Pressure creates spending. Spending creates more debt, and the cycle continues. Another reason the middle class is disappearing is job insecurity. Stable, long-term jobs are becoming rare. Contract work, gig work, temporary jobs. Companies shift risk onto workers. No pensions, no long-term guarantees. Just flexibility, which sounds nice until you need stability. Now here's the part nobody likes to hear. The system is not broken. It is working exactly as designed. Modern economies reward asset owners, not workers. If you own stocks, real estate, or businesses, the system pushes you up. If you only sell your time for money, the system slowly pulls you down. This is why the middle class is shrinking and splitting into two groups. One group moves upward by owning assets. The other slides downward, surviving paycheck to paycheck. The space in the middle, the stable, comfortable life, is disappearing. Social media makes this worse. You see people flexing cars, trips, luxury lives. But much of it is financed by debt. Comparison creates pressure. Pressure creates spending. Spending creates more debt, and the cycle continues. Another reason the middle class is disappearing is job insecurity. Stable, long-term jobs are becoming rare. Contract work, gig work, temporary jobs. Companies shift risk onto workers. No pensions, no long-term guarantees, just flexibility, which sounds nice until you need stability. Healthcare costs are another silent killer. One accident, one illness, one emergency can wipe out years of savings. Middle-class families fall into poverty not because they are careless, but because the system is unforgiving. So what's the result of all this? People feel tired, angry, confused. They work harder but go nowhere. They blame themselves. But this is not an individual failure. It's a structural problem. Now let me be clear. This video is not saying give up. Awareness is power. Once you understand the game, you can play it smarter. The first step is mindset. Stop believing that working harder alone will save you. Hard work is important, but ownership matters more. Learn about assets, stocks, skills, small businesses, even simple investments. You don't need to be rich to start, but you need to start thinking differently. Second, protect your money. Inflation is real. Cash loses value. Learn basic financial literacy. Budgeting is not about restriction. It's about control. Debt should be used carefully, not emotionally. Third, increase income strategically. Not just more hours, but better leverage. Skills that scale. Knowledge that compounds. The middle class of the future will not look like the past. Finally, stop blaming yourself for a system that changed without telling you. You were taught old rules for a new game. That's not stupidity, that's survival. The middle class is not disappearing overnight. It's fading slowly, quietly year by year. And silence is dangerous. Because when people don't understand what's happening, they can't prepare. If this video made you think, share it with someone who feels stuck but doesn't know why. Conversations like this matter. Awareness matters. Because the truth is simple, uncomfortable, and powerful. The middle class isn't lazy. It isn't stupid. It isn't failing. It's being squeezed. And once you see it, you can never unsee it.